welcome to the full stack development on the Google platform session 1. Today, let's see, I'm going to go over the introduction first. Hang on a second. My name is Kevin Kwan. I'm going to be presenting today, and I'm a software architect at Instrumentation Laboratory. I'm currently working on embedded technologies, and I'm responsible for the architecting and building software component for workstations and embedded application for medical devices. And I have been working in medical device field for, I guess this is maybe 15 years. So prior to working for Instrumentation Laboratory, and I was a web developer and business analyst working on web-based ICU clinical application using Angular and ASP.NET. And I have worked on other medical device projects like defibrillator, and where we actually building a ASP.NET website. And then I was managing deploying the entire web application onto the cloud. And also I've worked on ultrasound instrument. I really enjoy working as a business analyst. Some of the aspect of it is that I have the opportunity to talk to not direct end user, but marketing, and they're representing the end user to understand what the end user needs is, and translate them into a solid requirement. So those are very, very important aspect of getting the right requirement up front. And then the other thing I enjoy working as a business analyst is developing user workflow, understanding how they want to work with the application, and then applying those into the application design. And I also have the opportunity of developing prototype and to actually tell the user story. In my other spare time, I'm also volunteer as a software mentor for high school robotic teams. I really enjoy working with students to brainstorm game strategy and building robots for the seasonal competitions. Every season, we have a large group of young students who are eager to put their energies and passion for STEM into learning and building robots. The student age group is actually the grade group is from grade 9 to 12. Students have the opportunity to participate either in business discipline or engineering discipline. We have divided organizations into multiple disciplines. I mentioned earlier, we have fundraising, and we have business operation, we have marketing, we have social media, and then we have divided the engineering side. We have CAD, mechanical fabrication, electrical, software, and engineering. In engineering, the student learn through the entire design process and building process. And also, we have a tight schedule for the finished robot. We also have the opportunity to lead the student sub-teams, and we organize the team into multiple sub-teams to allow the student to focus on a number of engineering and business discipline, and that I've described earlier. So they have to go through a very rigorous application process, just like they actually go through for a job interview. So let's give the student the opportunity to be comfortable in that environment. So that's a really good opportunity for them to build up their skill. It's so gratifying to see the young kid and young adult who can get the life skills at such a young age. So the experience that they actually take from that is hopefully they give them an edge into whatever they are planning in life. Okay, that's so much about me. And I will let the rest of the GDG Lawrence team to introduce themselves. I'm going to hand it over to Roman.
Hey guys, I'm Roman Jacques. I'm a software engineer at Philips, also one of the co-organizers in the GDG Lawrence group. Again, we're very happy that you guys have joined us, even among the circumstances, making it this way, making it remote. And thank you everyone for joining in this journey. We guarantee that you guys are going to have a lot of fun, are going to learn a lot of cool things. And please stay tuned for, again, more updates on the series. We're going to have a couple other more series, not just this one. Also, we're going to have the lab nights and whatnot. So please stay tuned for all those announcements throughout the presentation, and hope everybody enjoy it. Thank you.
Okay, next up, Altamar.
Hi, this is Altamar. I work on Philips too as a full stack developer on Philips with my coworker Roman. And thanks for coming. And you're gonna learn everything about from scratch how to create your web app application from the old stacks from the front end and to the back end. I hope you enjoy these classes. Okay.
Okay, Lionel.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Lionel. I'm a senior software engineer and I work with data innovations. I'm a full stack engineer. I work on technologies mostly JavaScript and TypeScript, Node.js a bit, and I do also a little bit of DevOps as well. Thank you again for everyone joining this channel. It is really a global event because we have people joining from everywhere. And I hope you guys take something valuable after this session. Thank you, please.
Okay, so up next, I'm presenting, this is the GDG Lawrence Android app, and you can actually download in the Android store. And this is the link that we shared earlier, just in case that you missed them. So, if you can get to Slack, you should get information from the Slack channel, that the last link from that. So today's session, actually I'm going to be talking about the journey. So we're going to be going to working together on a journey to create a full-fledged web application based on Google technologies. And we'll be deploying the application to Google Cloud Platform. The journey was spanned into 4 main sessions and several other office hours with lab session for those who might need extra help for completing the collabs. So we'll be working on collabs along the way, and we will have an integration session at the end so that you can actually integrate your app into the GDG community app. So what you will accomplish throughout this session is you'll be building a full-fledged web application using the latest trend in the web development using Angular, the latest version, Node.js, and then connect to a web serverless backend hosted in Google Firebase. You'll be gaining knowledge in all the tools at your disposal for you to become a full-stack developer on the Google platform and knowledge architecting application running in the cloud. So, so this is at the end of the today's session. We'll have a raffle. So this raffle is 1 free Udemy course on the full stack development.
So we will be, sorry to interrupt, we will be posting a link later today. So you fill out a form, just put your email and name, and then you'll be entering into our raffle to get a free Udemy course on full stack. So you have to stay throughout the whole session. So and then you can provide just your information, and then you'll be entering into the raffle.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so full stack developer, what does this entail? So let's talk about full stack. What do we call that? Why do we call it full stack? Is it because the application is divided into multiple layers? The layer is stacked on top of each other. Application layer can be further divided into front end and back end. The concept can be applied to web application, mobile application, and desktop application, even embedded application. Actually, we're using that this concept for the architecture. Then what is the front end? What is the back end? And then we're going to go to these two categories in the next couple of slides. So how do I qualify to be a full stack developer? To be able to become or claim to be a full stack developer, I have to be familiar with both the front end and the back end application development, which we're going to be going through the process and going through the front end and then all the work all the way down to the back end. So as I mentioned previously, it doesn't matter if this is going to be a web application or a desktop application. So software development involves both the front end and the back end. In the previous, I think in the previous monolithic application, all the front end and sort of back end logic, they kind of like decoupled together. So that's not a very good application architectures. Next, so the front end, as you probably have figured it out, front end is primarily focused on user experience. The user experience that the user interface actually interact with the user. There's so many different user interface framework and technology and programming language out there involving developing the front-end applications. And those framework and technology and language is always evolving and changing so rapidly that and all of us has trouble keeping up with them. And some of the technology like HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap, JavaScript, JSON, XML, Angular, React, and Flutter. As you can see, this list is long, and there's so much to learn in this aspect. And the language in Flutter using Dart and then Node.js, and we're going to be using TypeScript. And TypeScript basically is a compile language into JavaScript. Speaking of user experience, we need to design our application to work with multiple form factors, for example, from mobile to web. And we need to ensure that our applications will change the user experience when they change the device. So the form factor change, you want to have a seamless experience for your end user. Doesn't matter whether they access your application from the mobile side, and then they access your application on the web, which is on the browser side. I believe we call this responsive design. So we're going to be going through some of that when we develop our applications. So the other aspect of it, the design pattern is applying to the front end. So the design pattern like model view controller or model view model. So Angular used some of that on the front end. So you will see some of that when we go to the process of developing the applications. So now we go into the back end. So the back end, you might think that if we have a robust user experience design on the front end, why do we need the back end then? Well, whatever user experience that we have designed in the front end, your application will need some sort of data and to render some of those user experience. So data allow us to build visualization into a rich user interface. An application needs to have a purpose, whatever that purpose might be. We need data to show that. Some of those technology that we're going to be using is on the back end is Node.js, Express.js, and the key thing is a database. So there's relational database, and there's NoSQL. This is basically the document database. It just works as a document. So Firebase, we're going to be going to Firebase. You will see some of that in the application development with the app that we're going to be building. And then, of course, after we finish the application, we need to have some way to hosting the application, some way for our end user to reach it. So Google has a computing platform infrastructure, Google Cloud. They have Google Cloud Function, and they have microservices. We're not going to be touching the microservices at this time. So we're going to be focused on using Firebase and And of course, you can actually host your application on-premise server, meaning that a company actually have a data center in-house, and they can actually set up all the server within the data center and host it that way. Okay, hang on a second. Go to the next slide. So, what are the popular stacks? So we have LAMP. This stands for Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. And also we have LAMP, which is very similar to LAMP. And basically it runs on Windows. We have Apache, MySQL, and PHP. And maybe you have all those three pieces, like the Apache install, MySQL install, and PHP install. And so you have a LAMP stack. And the mean stack is basically is the MongoDB, I believe is DocumentDB, similar to DocumentDB. And then you have Express and Angular and Node.js. So we kind of using this mean stack similar to this, except that we're not using MongoDB. We're using the Firebase database. And there's some of the variations in terms of the mean stack. There's I didn't even know familiar with those. We're very using Angular and Node.js. ASP.NET Core, and I've been, I mentioned I've been working on those for a number of years. So Microsoft's still supporting these. Let's see. So architectures. What is architecture? Why do we think it's important? When you think about it, when we're building a house, we like to hire an architect to draw out the blueprint on what we want in the house. The architecture specifies all the important elements that we want in the house, right? It details the layout of the house, how many bathroom, bedroom, is it open concept floor plan? What kind of flooring does it have? Do you want hardwood floor? Is this a regular carpet? And do you have a gourmet kitchen? What color of the house, etc. And those are the important aspects, right? So if it's everything laid out and in the architecture, you know what you're going to be getting, and then for the people who are building it, they have a blueprint they have to follow to build your dream house, for example. So for architecting and software solutions, so we need to go to the same rigor to define the architecture to support user needs. A sound software architecture provides many benefits. The layering architecture provides us with some of those aspects. So basically, I'm going to describe on the right-hand side. But regarding the layering architecture, we have a presentation layer, business layer, persistent layer, and data layer. We'll be using some of these. So you can see the two arrow, the information flowing down from top to bottom, and then also from bottom to the top layer. So separate concern, user interface is separate from business logic. I mentioned earlier the monolithic application business logic coupled together with the user interface is very difficult to maintain. Anything you change in the business logic may affect changing the user interface. So you separate the user interface from your business logic. When you change the business logic, you don't have to change your user interface. Maintainability and readability, the code is easy to maintain and easy to understand. So other developer, they're looking at the code, they can quickly pick it up easily. Testability, and we can write unit tests for all layers. This is a very important aspect of it. When you're building an application, you want to be able to, along the way, you want to write unit tests against the layer that you're actually building. The end result is more reliable software, and that's most organizations they actually very emphasized in that aspect of it, especially medical device industry, and we are building medical device and then being used in the healthcare, and the doctor and physician they're depending on us to providing a robust software for them. We don't want to introducing errors so that they lead to a misdiagnosis for the patient. division of labor. So in a large corporation, large project, and when you have a large project, and is if you're using layered good architecture with layering pattern, so you can actually divide it and the project into multiple small pieces and easily assign to and divide and conquer with the developer community. Module development. Software is developed in module and component. It can be shared with other project as well, not just any particular project. So when you architect the software application architecture, you want to put that in mind, so that what can I do to allow us to reuse? So it's minimize the time, just speed up your market windows and develop your software quicker. Scalability. This is a very important aspect of, especially for web applications. So is your application able to scale? Let's say that if we release our application, so we only supported 1K user today. So in 1 year time frame, we want to scale that to 100K user in a year after the release of the application. How do we do that? Does the architecture support us to do that? Security. This is a very important concern in the medical device industry and security. That we have patient information, and this is not just for my. I'm trying to say is that this is not just for medical device, and this is applied to all applications, especially in finance, financial, anything, e-commerce, whatever. So we need to protect the sensitive information, the application we're building, that our application is processing those information. We must go through the rigorous vulnerability analysis to ensure that our application have proper security mitigations. We need to practice security by design. When we're building the application, we don't want our end user sensitive information being tampered with by the hacker. If you have any questions, you can actually stop me along the way. I just want to let you know that. Let me go to the next slide.
Also, just wanted to remind people that some of the discussions are being conducted via the Slack. If anybody wants a separate question to direct to the team, we're here in the Slack. There's some activity there. Thank you.
So I'm just going to do a demo to installing some of these, just show you how to set up your development environment. So installing Node and NPM, basically you have to go to the, let me see, go to the Node.js website. I'm going to just move the screen over here, overlay the presentation. And basically you have to download the package based on your platform. So they have Windows. So we typically, I typically use, I go to the current one, the latest and greatest, but sometimes you don't want to, you might not want the latest and greatest. As you can tell that I have a Mac OS, I'm running a Mac OS. So they have determined that I'm running Mac OS and tell me which one I can download. So you get to click on download and then install it. This is an installation. So I'm not actually going to do that because I have it already installed on my desktop. Let me see. I can just show the. There you go. So this is the terminal screen. So I'm going to verify. Type no. Not that version. So I have Node.js 10.15 installed on my computer. Let's see what else are we going to do. Install the Angular CLI. So to install Angular CLI, you have to go to the Angular IO. We're going to give you all that information when you're doing your collab. So this is Angular.io. So you want to go to the documentation, and then there's the getting start. This is how to get start. Otherwise, it's not loading. Well, anyway, so you have to follow through that, and basically, I'm going to go back to the ng. It says Angular CLI. So I have already installed on my computer. For some reason, I don't know. Oh, there you go. To create a Firebase account, and basically you have to go to Firebase. Put the firebase.google.com. I have to go to the console. By the way, it requires you to have a Gmail account. So is it basically click add project? So I'm going to name my project GDG. So it created a project. It also, this is the project ID. So I continue. And typically, I just disable that. You just leave it there if you like. Then continue. Then select an account. The default using whatever. And here you go. This creating a project.
Sorry, one question here. The default account, is that it goes to your GCP account, or where does
go
that
to
go?
Gmail, whatever you signed up for.
So you can use any Gmail account, like, because it's free. Like the free tier, it lets you like do a lot of things. We can answer those questions in the Slack if you want.
So when you first
Drew, I can help you even set it up.
When you first sign up, I remember this. I've done it a long time ago. Remember when you first sign up for Firebase, you have to select a Spark account, which means that you don't. It's a free account. So I finished completing creating a project. So basically, now we got a project. So I'm not going to go further. So you're going to have to do it. We're going to be working on this one called web application. So we're going to develop web application. So we have Colab that we're going to go to all of this. So I just setting up this Firebase CLI. So you can actually do and allow you to. So we're going to provide instruction on how to do that. I'm not going to go to that right now. I'm going to find my here. So it should be somewhere you can do a Firebase command in here. I believe I have it installed. Right. I don't know. Is this slow? Yeah. There you go. Well, that's the installation of the tool that will require you to install and then to set up a development environment. I'm going to go back to close screen. Okay. Just bear with me for 1 second. I'm trying to navigate my mouse. So authentication. So why do we need authentication? So when you're building an application, if you're building a static page, you don't have sensitive information, you don't need authentication. But if you're building some application require hosting sensitive information, or only some pay user can use the application, you want to build authentication. So there's a number of different authentication types. So this one, we're talking about the basic authentication. The basic authentication, the user typically is going to access your application to the web browser. So the traffic is going to go to to the web, and then you go to some kind of firewall to some server in the cloud, and then you go to the database and then validate your credential. And basically, your credential is your username, your password. And then once the server validate your credential, it send the authentication token back to the web application. So the web application continue knowing that you are a legitimate user on the applications. So Firebase authentication is pretty much very similar. And we're going to access the application also to the browser. And then the only thing different is Firebase authentication. They provide a number of different external provider like the Google login. You can actually use your Google Gmail account to log on to your application. You can actually use the Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, some other provider out there also. So Firebase provides this interface, external. We call these external authentication provider using the knowledge called OAuth to authenticate the user. Basically, the Firebase it go out externally. I didn't draw a picture to Google, and Google gonna authenticate it and making sure the users is who they say the user who they say they are, and then giving back the token back to the application, so the application can continue. There also number of different way of authenticating user. Sometimes you have two-factor authentication, meaning that you enter your username and password, and then you get authenticated, but you want an extra level of protection, so you want to actually send a SMS message to your phone, and you have to enter a code on the application. And then after the code is validated, then you can enter the application. So we in our application, we're just gonna go to using Google sign in. So this is some of the technology. I mentioned single factor and two-factor. Multi-factor is basically, I think, additional. You can actually use your retina to identify your for authentication. So we mentioned the Slack channel earlier, so make sure you can get onto that. We're going to be posting a lot of information on that. I think, so we are at the point of, I'm closing out the presentation. Robin, I believe, when do you want to take the break? Is it 10 o'clock, or do you want to continue?
Roman is out for a bit. I think we decided to take a break at 11. But if we want to take a break now, if everyone wants a break, we can take a break.
No, I can continue. So, This is a resource that actually allow you to get a lot of information on. You can go to Google Dev, and there's Angle.io I showed earlier, and then there's you want to learn HTML and CSS. W3 School is actually a lot of information. Less CSS. I mentioned CSS, so actually we're using a less. It's basically it's a pre-compiler, a compiler into CSS. So we're going to be using that. And then the TypeScript I mentioned earlier, we're going to be using TypeScript, and then this RxJS. This is the reactive component that we're going to be using. The Firebase that I mentioned earlier, and then. There's a material design related to the UI design that you can actually take a look on that. So right now, what I'm going to do, see, I can bring up my application. Sorry about that. Let me just that look like more like it. I have to run to the Node.js serve again. And while we're waiting for that, maybe I'll just. So here is where you can download Visual Studio Code. So yeah, so you could come here and you download the Visual Studio Code. You can, I'm using a Mac, so I have download for Mac. So you can actually you support Mac, Windows, and Linux. Let's see, is it finished building? It's still doing it. So is this building and 30%, 50%. I need a faster machine. Usually it doesn't take this long. I don't know what happened today. Okay, I think we're good. So this is the application that you'll be building. So I'm going to sign in with Google. So this will pop up. So I'm going to use my sign in. Hopefully that works. And what you do is that's the application. So you enter your full name. Oh, why can't I click on it? Something wrong with it. I think it came.
What's wrong, Kevin?
What's that?
What's happening?
It wouldn't let me click. It's something. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go. I think it's a delay.
And so I put my name, and I'm going to select. I'm an intermediate developer, so I'm going to say what describe you. Some reason I'm not able to click on that. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. This is weird. But I haven't had the same problem again. I don't know why. But and that's the logout button. That's supposed to be the login name, so it didn't.
So the problem is when you are actually sharing your screen, sometimes there's
yeah,
a delay.
it's just not letting me doing it.
Yep.
Then you move it out and then so you can type. Yeah, but anyway, so it doesn't let me go do this for some reason.
Yeah, but I think we get the idea of what our application would be. So when we go through our labs, this is what you're going to build. So this is the community application which Kevin is demoing. So once we are done with the whole series, you will be able to build an application for the community.
Yeah, I apologize for that. Let me see. I can show you something. I think I might be. Oh, I'm using Safari. That's why it doesn't work.
I was just gonna say that, Kevin, that you're using Safari.
Oh God, it's like Safari. Try again.
So much
there
for
you go.
browsers.
So you end after you finish, and you're going to do, and then you click join the community. You go to this page. And one aspect of what I mentioned earlier about responsive design. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to go to the debug console. See how it changed the size, and it's still very easily matching. You know, you log on the mobile phone, you see like this, and you can change the different size application. It doesn't affect the user experience, right? In this case, it's the same user experience, whether you're using maximum or mobile format. So you can select iPhone X or your different, or even iPad. or even other mobile device. Pixel 2, we usually this tool actually allows us to verify the different format. This is really nice. We're going to be covering also, you can actually debug your application here. This is a source code where you can actually set breakpoint in here, but you can also do it in Visual Studio Code as well. Okay, so are there any questions so far? So we're almost close to 11. I don't want to go to the next thing. Maybe if there is any question, we may be able to answer for you.
So Jose had a question on does the Firebase has some offline continuous integration capabilities to sync database changes?
Offline to sync database change, I'm not aware of, but there's a, this is not related to, I was actually playing with the emulation. So you can actually, the emulation allow you, I believe it allow you to do it locally. I'm not sure that that would allow us to sync the database. You can actually write script to update your database offline. You can actually write a script or some kind of program that actually allow you to do this. I've done this for my robotic application where I actually wrote a standalone application, and I'm updating the database onto the cloud from the desktop application. I believe that then you can write some kind of tool to allow you to sync the database, whatever data you need to sync up. I hope that answered that question. But any other question?
I think that's all. If anybody has any questions, they can either post it on the Study Jam channel, or you can directly ask Kevin right now. If not, we can go on breaks and we can take more questions on Study Jam channel.
Yeah, so we're going to take 10 minutes break. So we're going to resume here at 11:10.
Yep. Another thing, I think, Kevin, are we going through the labs in the second half?
Yep.
Okay, so what Kevin just showed will be more detailed in the Codelabs. So Kevin has put together the Codelabs session 1. So you will have all the instructions step by step, even with the links. I think thanks Altimar for posting all the links on the Study Jam channel. So if someone is having trouble getting onto the Study Jam channel, they can let me know through the chat. We will be posting. I will be still on the chat window, and I'll be helping you guys on board to the Slack. Because most of our links will be on the Slack channel.
So we're gonna. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna put the application in directly. So we're gonna do a new application called engineering. Basically, here we're going to be generating a new application using Angular CLI. Just double check. Lionel, you see my screen?
I can see the screen. Yeah. I thought we aren't we going to share the link to the Codelabs, or how are we going to do this?
This is going to take like 5 minutes.
Okay, got it. Okay, then you're going to share the link on for Codelabs on the channel.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good.
After this, can you post it on the channel and then put it in the chat?
Yep. Let me look for the link. Altima, do you have the link for the?
Let me look at it. 1 second.
Let's go to GitHub. You should be able to find it.
Okay. Let's go there and have a look.
Okay, so we're going to create a new application. So what Angular CLI is going to do is create the application called GDG Community, and you're going to put it on my default directory where I'm at. So let's see. I'm going to do that. So it's asking if you want to add Angular routes. So Angular route, we're going to describe it in the next couple of sessions. So we definitely want that. The Angular route allow you to navigate to do navigation in a single page application. So we definitely need that. So it's automatically create some snippet in the application for us to put in the route. And it's going to ask you whether you want straight CSS or using SAS or SCSS. I never actually use that. So we're going to be using less. Some of those style language is very similar, so we're going to use less. So you can see the less css.org link right there. So I'm going to hit enter. As you can see, it's actually generated a whole bunch of files. So it's creating the README file, the JSON file, the package file, and a lot of the TypeScript configuration, etc., and etc. So you can actually do this in Visual Studio Code. Let me see. I'm going to go there. I'm not going to actually do it. I'm going to close my original application. Let's see. Let's try that. I think I get this ng. No, actually, I don't have the Angular or ng. I don't have the CLI installed. It requires an extension that you put into Visual Studio Code. I'm not sure I have it installed. Oh, I don't think I have it installed. But I was wrong, so you can actually do it, but I just don't have it. Let's check. Let's see. Actually, it's still installing. I guess I was wrong. It's going to be taking more. I'm going to be taking more than 5 minutes for the. I deleted the original one that I had, so right now we're creating it. What happened is right now it's actually going to the web and try to grab all the packages that the default packages and pull it in from the web. Nothing happening. Not much going on in VC. So while it's doing that, it's doing that, I'm just going to go to. So this is the link to the Colab.
I have pasted the link to the Codelab on the Slack channel, for I can pin it there. So,
and also we can post in the chat. Just
yep, I can post it on the chat. Okay. For those who are not on the Slack,
I apologize. Yet. I don't know why it's taking that long to just create this. It's still doing it. But
oh, it's still creating the yeah, the pains of screen sharing.
Yeah, it's still doing it. I don't know why they're taking so long. Usually it doesn't take that long.
Yep. I noticed that when I'm actually doing screen share, and when I'm demoing something, yeah, I don't know what happened. That
I don't think it's my internet problem, right? I mean, just let me check.
No, it's only when you screen share. So now if you're not screen sharing, I think it will download all the packages faster.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't. It's good. Just go to the internet. I mean, why is it doing it? Yeah, it's like my speed is fine. Should I just? Okay, maybe I'll just code it from here and then do npm install. So I'm going to just go to that directory. It's got everything. So just do npm install. And basically, that's basically doing the same thing. I don't know if that's going to take a long time or not, but actually, you can see what's doing it. Yeah, for some reason it's taking it's taking this time. See that? There's a not. So I'm gonna probably skip this. I don't want to take too much time. So let's go to the Colab. I'm gonna go to the Colab, but I'm not gonna actually running it all on my Mac. So what this Colab is going to give, provide you what you learn is that you're going to go through the process of installing Node, what I've actually shown previously. You're going to install Visual Studio Code and set up the Visual Code extension. How to install the Angular command line tool, which is Angular CLI, and then how to create your first Angular application. And then show you how to debug your application. But if you have some of these installed, you're a little bit ahead. What you need is a computer with at least minimum of 4 gig of RAM and 50 gigs of disk space. And of course, you need an internet connection. So as you can see, without internet connection, you're not going to be able to download anything. So it's still chunking around. I don't know why that prevent me to do the installation when I'm presenting to Google Meet. And that's so after and then you're going to go to the next step, and the next step basically installing Node. And in this step, so what I'd like to ask is if you can follow along with me, but actually I'm not going to be doing it. And as you can see, when I'm doing it, it's taking forever on my computer to get it installed. But I already have Node.js installed. So I would like to ask you to click on this Node.js link, and that will take you into the Node.js page. Depends on what computer and what platform you're on. So select the platform that you are on. So if you're on Windows, you can just, if you're running 64-bit Windows, click on this link. Or you're running a Mac, you click on this 64-bit link, and then you run in a Linux, then you can click on this 64-bit link. So I'm just going to go to, let's see, go to Windows. I'm not on a Windows machine, but I'm going to go there. You try to download the MSI. You're going to try to download the MSI, which I'm not going to do that. So I'd like you to download the MSI or the Mac package, and try to go through the installation. Just make sure that you have the Node.js installed. If you're running into issue during the installation, and one of us should be able to help you out, and then you can actually request help on the Slack channel. After you completed this step, then you should be able to do node-space-version, and it should tell you the version number of Node.js that you have installed. Oh, look at it. This is so slow.
Kevin, maybe if you want to stop your screen share for a bit and then come back, see if this speeds up the creation of your project. And
I mean, I have to leave the, oh, wait a minute, stop screen share. Okay, I'm going to stop screen.
Yeah.
Stop presenting.
Yeah, just stop presenting for a bit. So we can all see each other and say hi now.
Actually, it didn't make any difference. Some reasons.
Ah,
No, it didn't make any difference. It just sit there.
yeah.
I can't explain it. Usually, it doesn't take this long.
So I see it's not only you, but there are others who are posting on Slack, and I think Roland had the same problem where he is. Yeah, he said he started the process 40 minutes ago, and then.
Is
Oh,
it that
yeah?
maybe? Yeah.
Maybe
It could be the servers.
yeah.
Yeah.
It could be the server. Yeah.
So we have a question. Mac people. I'm on Windows, so can someone take that question? So
Yeah, sure.
Roland is asking a question on Slack channel. He says, there was a question which I asked if I wanted to install Chocolatey.
Yeah, the Chocolatey, you can skip that. You can skip that. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But usually, yeah, you shouldn't have those issues like on like on a normal case. In this particular case, I think, I don't know, there's maybe like a huge volume of people downloading that.
I know.
We can't. Yeah, that's a little bit out of our control. But yeah, like once you're, let's say, out of this session, maybe later on you can try the labs, and then that should work fine.
I can't even kill. That's really weird. I mean.
So for those of you who don't know, that's the real Roman who just spoke right now. I'm Lionel.
Oh yeah, so. Yeah, Lionel, please. Sorry. Yeah, there was a conflict there. So Lionel there, Roman here. By the way, before everybody drops again, I just wanted to make sure that again, Kevin will continue sharing a little bit on the labs. The code labs will be dropped on the day of the session, and then you will spend the next 2 weeks working on those code labs. Then the lab nights in between the sessions are those sessions that you will have like one-on-ones with us, and then we can help you with your questions. So yeah, please stay tuned for the code labs link so you can complete them on your own within the 2 week period.
I think the Google platform is kind of slack. I mean, it's kind of slack right now. It's really slacky, and your video coming to Roman is very slow.
Oh really? Okay, so another feedback for the Google Meet team, because
I know
they should be able to sustain this many people.
So Drew just asked a question when our office has. So we have our events actually on Meetup. So those are the lab nights. That's actually our office hours. Will be helping people with any questions related to the project in our offices. So make sure you go and RSVP there. If you want to join and go in depth for certain technologies, or if you have any questions.
Yeah, I killed it and tried it again. It just stuck there, so I'm not going to.
That's totally fine. I mean, Kevin, you can go through the rest of the lab, and then again, people should be able to again follow along on your own when we provide the links to the labs later. Mm-hmm.
So the next step, you're gonna install Visual Studio. So I'm showing the link. I'm gonna show it again. So you can download for Mac. You can download for Windows, Linux. So just download the package and install it on your computer. And so the bottom two is the extension. Basically, we want to be able to debug the application. We need to install the debugger for Chrome. If you're interested in like using GitHub, you can install this extension called the GitHub pull request. It's pretty nice, I mean, I'll show you again that in Visual Studio. Yeah, you got an icon somewhere here. I'm gonna just close this project first. So some of these extension icon on the left-hand side, and this one is the source control, basically for GitHub. And next thing will be install the Angular CLI. So Angular CLI is command to install it in npm. So npm is come from Node installation. You must install Node first before you can actually do this. So you're just going to type in in the command line or terminal, whatever on the Mac, they type in terminal, so npm space install space -g space @angular/CLI. What it does is taking whatever the latest version and pull it in. And when you do an ng space -- version, it'll show you the version of the Angular CLI that has installed. Here, what it does is that, well, actually, I was trying to show you earlier. So you go to it, you do an ng new hello world applications. And then you're going to ask you whether you want the Angular routing. For hello world, you probably don't need it, but for our applications, you need it. And you're going to select less. Then you're going to select the less for CSS. And then it show you the progress. So that you have seen before what I've done, and it show you the progress and try to create an application. And after it's completed creating your application, you just go to change the directory to that application directory. In this case, it's gonna be hello world. You change directory to hello world, and you type in ng serve, and basically that will build your application, and it'll set up the web server, and then you should be able to go to the default is localhost, and :4200 :4200 is the port number of the application that they're actually serving at on your local host. So you can you can have a debugging application in here, but you have to configure the debugger to allow you to launch an application. I'm going to go to our application, and let's see. So you can actually go to this little icon, little bug icon right there, and see this when you say launch Chrome against the local host. So initially you might not have it. You click on the little button here, this setting button. It will launch the launch.json file. The first one is going to be automatically. This one's going to automatically launches. So that's the type of debugging session you're doing, and the request is just launching an application, and that's the name of the launch. Debugging launch is showing up here, and that's the URL you're going to go to, and then this is the default folder, and you can actually pass an argument in there. But let me see. I'm going to see again the launch it from there. This should come up. I don't know what's this. Okay. So it should bring up my Chrome browser somewhere when it comes up. I'm looking for it. It's taking its time again. Yeah, boy, this is really weird.
Is it just building, or
it's trying to launch? They're not launching.
Can you try if you do npm start? Does it still do it?
Yeah. And this server does it. Yeah.
Yeah, which is it's just an alias of ngserve. And again,
right.
Just to repeat to folks, all these steps are in the Codelabs available. We'll be dropping the Codelabs in a little bit. So again, if anybody has any issues setting this up, we'll be setting up the lab nights. That's the reason why we're holding those Thursday night sessions from 8:30 to 9 p.m. so that anybody who has any issues setting this up, they can ask us questions, and we can have like one-on-ones with the team.
Yeah, I can launch it from.
Oh, there you go. It's
from-
like see, it's
Just
just
compiling.
starting a
It's
little
taking-
bit. Yeah, it takes a
yeah.
little bit. But the initial building usually takes a little bit. Once all all the files have been minified, compressed, and built, it doesn't take that long the next time. It's just like the first time usually.
Yeah, this is really weird.
There you
This is
go.
the second time I actually did it, but I'm trying to launch it again. Hopefully, it's not going to build no build again.
Try showing it now. Now not compiled.
Yeah, it didn't launch. It should launch my.
Yeah,
It
just
should
go to the
launch my
browser.
web browser automatically, but it didn't do it. It should launch Chrome. That's what it tells us to do, but it just.
Can you open Chrome and then
But
go
you can
to-
click on the link on there. So there's a.
Oh, you
yeah,
can
you
also
can-
click on the link exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I don't want to click because my default browser is.
Safari, yeah.
It's showing it, but the problem is that in Visual Studio, typically when you do a debug session, it launches a separate Chrome browser open by this. This is typically I do this all the time. So for some reason today it doesn't working for me. But anyway, in here you can actually browse to any file, any TypeScript file. You can set a breakpoint. Just click on the left-hand side here. So that's a breakpoint that's set. But unfortunately, I'm not able to show you because this thing is still trying to launch. It's trying to initialize and you see, it said on the bottom it said launch Chrome against the local host. I don't know what happened today. Yeah, but let's go back to the Colab. Yeah, this is the last step. So and hopefully we can do this when we're in the lab session, helping you out if you run into trouble. I think this is the end of what I'm going to all the different. Yeah, this is the end. Unfortunately, Roman, do you want to try on your side? Maybe you can have better luck than I do. I don't know. This is not
I can
working.
try it on my end, but what we're going to do now at this point is, again, in the interest of time, we're gonna start providing the everyone with the links for the labs, for the Codelabs, the raffle, so that you can start filling it out, and then we can raffle the Udemy course, free Udemy course on the mean stack, full stack development with Firebase and Angular. So right now, if everybody goes to the Study Jam channel, we're gonna drop it here. Also, we're gonna drop it here in the chat. There is a form, Google form, for you to fill out if you want to participate in that raffle. All you have to do, and let me know if you guys are having issues accessing the form. So you're gonna put your name and email.
Click on the link.
Exactly.
Yeah, the form is shown like that. So what you can do is you can enter your email address and your full name, and click submit.
Yeah, so now you should be able to see it in both the chat and the Slack channel. And then during the lab nights, which are going to be held every Thursday from 8:30 to 9 p.m., you can ask us questions about the labs, about any issues that you may be having setting up your environment, and we will be there to help you out with that. We will also be holding some like live coding sessions on the same project, on other topics that we're going to do some deep dives. So why don't you guys continue on that? Lionel, do we have anything again on the social media and whatnot that maybe people might want to be aware of?
Yes. So I think I'll post some details on our social media. The best way to connect with us on social media, I think we have a slide on there. So we are on Instagram, Twitter. So if you guys are connected to us on our social media or on the Meetup channel, you'll get the latest updates on our upcoming events. So we'll be very active on social, and we also take questions on LinkedIn. Please join our LinkedIn group. We are really active there. And please connect with each other. Use the Slack as a medium to connect with each other. It's all about community. It's all about connecting with each other and growing. Yep, that's it.
Great, thank you. And again, thank you, Kevin, for walking us through the labs, giving us a brief overview on a basic architecture, on developing full stack applications, and developing on the Google platform. Any last thoughts? Any tips for people before we do the raffle and just do the closing statements?
There's a link to LinkedIn. You know, to go to LinkedIn, follow us. I only have access to LinkedIn. I don't have any. I don't have Twitter account in any other account. But,
So again, let me just briefly talk a little bit about the sessions that we're going to be having. So again, every 2 weeks, we're going to be having one session every Saturday from 10 to 12 p.m. We're going to be going over, again, the topics that, again, will empower you to become full stack developers on the Google platform. Then every other week, we're going to be having, or actually every week, every Thursday night, we're going to be having the office hours, or what we call the lab nights, to help you with those labs. So today we're going to be providing the links to the Codelabs, the Codelab that Kevin just mentioned. We can add all the other labs later on as you make progress within with this project. And at the end of the 4 sessions that we're going to be having, you will have all the tools and you will have all the knowledge to develop full stack applications on the Google platform, starting from Angular, doing some backend in Firebase, doing real-time backends and notifications using Google Cloud Firestore, and doing the real-time database on Firebase. Kevin just showed a little bit on the application. I can share my application just to show you a little bit of what that looks like. I know Kevin already demoed it, but I can try it one more time. While Lionel collects the emails, and Altamar, why don't you guys start collecting the emails of the people who are submitting their names and emails for the raffle. So I can demo a little bit of that. So just give me a minute while I can share my screen as well. And again, you will see pretty much you will see pretty much the same application that we're showing here. This is the same application that you will be able to develop by yourself. So I'm going to be sharing my screen now. Just a minute. Let me see if I can do. I'm going to share. Actually, I'm going to share my window. Just give me a minute. And then let me know if you guys can see it. So here I'm sharing my Visual Studio. Again, your application at the end will be like a full-blown application where you are going to have all your components, all your files, some testing in there as well. And then once you run the application, and then let's say I'm going to launch it here. Let me see if you guys can see it. If I go to localhost 4200, which is the default port. And then if I show like the developer tools in here, then you should be able to see it like in a more responsive fashion. So it's also mobile friendly. Can everybody see that? Can everybody see it?
Yeah, we can see the screen.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you can see the screen. You can see the application. Again, the same thing. If you click on sign in with Google, like it should be able to prompt you for your Google credentials. So you will learn all about this, how to hook it up to to Firebase using Firebase Authentication. Then you will be logged in. You can see like your information in there. You will be able to fill out a form, and then all these pieces you will be able to assemble it together by going through all the labs. You're going to be able to put your name in there. Let's say I'm going to put my full name. And then you can, it will ask you like, what type of expertise is it that you have? Let's say I'm advanced. But you see all of these components, every single element, you will learn how to build those and how to make them communicate in a very seamless fashion. So I'll say a friendly person who loves coding, for example. And then you will be able to do this as well. Like submit your information into the, what we're calling this fake application called GDG community application, or so like a fake social media network. And then let's say you go to your profile page. Right from here, you can even log out, you can log back in. You will learn all of this so that you can implement it in your own applications as well. And then once you log back in, you land into your profile page. You will learn how to pull this information from Firebase backends. And also when you join the community, let's say the GDG community, everybody's faces and everybody login, everybody as a member who, after you finish the application, you should be seeing everybody in here. Everybody who completes these labs and completes the application should be able to see their names in here after you do the integration. So that is what we're trying to accomplish here, which is develop a full-fledged web application, also running in the cloud with serverless components, using a full stack approach, you would say, because you start from the front and then you start building the pieces. You also assemble the backend, and then you see how easy it is to use the Google technologies, tap into the Google technologies in order to become a full stack developer. So that's what we really want to accomplish at the end of the series. So now let's, I'm going to stop presenting here. And then has anybody, I just wanted to make sure that people were starting to fill the information and we're getting your data so that we can do the raffle.
So we have 21 names so far.
Okay, perfect.
If there are any people who haven't gotten a chance to enter the form, please do it now.
Yes.
I will add the names in the wheel of names.
Perfect.
Or I can send it to you, Roman, because if you're sharing your screen,
I can see. Okay, I'm sharing my screen again. I can see the list of names. I can grab them from here. So I see 23 people so far. Let's just give it a minute for maybe more people to join. And if you want to do that, see, I still see people trickling in. Well, let's just give it a minute. And again, if anybody has any last minute questions, again, like I said, appreciate everybody's ability to join amid this pandemic and making it work, and just coming together as a community and supporting us in our efforts to continue providing good quality content to you from our team, the GDG Lawrence. So again, we're going to be holding more events like that, like this. Please stay tuned through our social media channels, and you should be getting more information about this. And again, definitely, we appreciate you coming and join us and spending this much time with us.
So Vipul just posted a question on chat saying that he would like to have a YouTube link channel for a link to our YouTube channel. So Vipul will be posting that on the Slack. If you're on Slack, we will send you the link on the Study Jam or the general channel once we upload the video, once we upload the recording.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so I have already have the names of the folks already. So let me share. If I think we should be all set. Let me just see if maybe at least one more person. Okay, so we have 25 people signed up. I'm gonna just do the raffle now and wish everybody luck.
Are you sharing the screen?
I'm gonna share my screen in a minute.
Okay. Before that, Vipul, you also asked the link for TypeScript learning. I think we have shared the link on our Slack channel, Study Jam. One of those links have the TypeScript language, and then you can actually see the documentation and the learning link in there as well, or we can post it separately now. Yep, go ahead, come on.
Okay, perfect. So let's just do. Okay, let me share my screen now, and then we should be able to see everybody's names. And again, we're raffling. Let me know if you guys can see the screen now. We'll be raffling, again, one course from Udemy on full stack development using Firebase, Firebase Authentication, Angular Firestore, the whole stack. So they call it the mean stack, but it's actually more centric with the to Google technology. So let's just, I have everybody's names in here. So again, wish everybody luck. I'm gonna spin this thing right now. Let's see how it goes. And
you're not showing that screen.
I'm not showing the screen?
No.
Look, I'm gonna share it again. Let me know if you guys can see it.
We can see you, but not the screen. No, okay. Now you're presenting.
Okay, can you guys see it?
Yeah, I can see your screen now.
Now you see Roland Galibert.
Yep.
Congratulations, Roland.
Congratulations, Roland. So we'll be sending you in a bit the license, well, actually the course for the Udemy course on full stack development. Okay, so without further ado, so I don't know if anybody has any other questions. Again, please stay tuned in the Slack channel. We're gonna be very active there throughout all these sessions at night every Thursday from 8:30 to 9 p.m. We're gonna be holding the lab nights, office hours, answering everybody's questions. Lionel, can we also did we put the link to the labs already or not yet?
We put
Hey,
the link
Roman,
for the Codelabs.
someone asking to share the title of the Udemy course.
I will be sharing that. Actually, I can tell you right now what the name of the course is.
Well, can we post it on our Study Jam channel?
Yes, I'll definitely put it there. If anybody again is interested in purchasing it yourself, of course you can do that. But it's a master class on Angular 7 with Firebase Cloud Firestore. So I'll be posting the link shortly. But yeah, I'll be sending the Roland. So again, congratulations. I'll be sending you the link shortly so that you can claim your course. Anybody else from the team? Does anybody have any additional comments for everybody?
Yeah, Roman, can you show the website we just launched for our community?
So if I go to gdglawrence.ml, if anybody's still seeing this, this is our official website. You can also find us through Meetup, meetup.com/GDG-Lawrence. But this is the GDG Lawrence official website, where here you will be able to see all the events that are going on. We will be updating it more frequently and provide more information so that you can so that you can not only get more information from us, from the things that we've been doing, any events. So again, all the events, you should be able to see them here. Get to know the team. You can see, you can reach out to us through our social media. We are also encouraging people to also contribute to the team. Let's say if you have aptitude for like speaking or something, and you have something to share with the rest of the community, we welcome that as well. And of course, any feedback that you have for us, so that you can make us improve as a team and as a community, we welcome that with open arms. So yes, you can go to gdglawrence.ml. And that is our official website there.
Thanks, Roman.
Okay.
Hey, Roman, can you share that Udemy course so people?
I will be posting it in a minute. It's just that because I'm like all over the place now. But I'll be dropping it in a minute. Yes.
I also encourage everyone to connect with each other on LinkedIn. Also connect with our page on LinkedIn. We are GDG Lawrence on LinkedIn, so you can find us there. We are very active there. Also connect with all the organizers, and if you want to give any feedback through LinkedIn, we always are very active and we respond to you. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Any last words before we log off for today? And just again, continue repeating people to join the Slack channel. Reach out to us through there. Join the lab nights to ask questions about the labs. So why don't we put up the lab links in there, and then let's call it a day.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of the day, and let's stay in touch, okay?